Systems administration is a technology career where you set up, install, configure, and maintain secure hardware and software systems. If you're curious about starting or transitioning your career to tech, this is a good place to start that journey. In this video, I'll be walking you through the ABPC roadmap that you can follow from start to finish, assuming no prior knowledge. So all beginners are welcome. Hit that subscribe button to start the journey with us. As I was preparing the resources and this video, I asked myself many times whether my younger self could have used this video to learn this path. And my response today, after many iterations of this video, is yes. This video is a good fit for working professionals who are ready to make a transition into tech within the next 4 to 6 months. If you're motivated and you can execute on a plan, even when your time is limited, and I'll show you how to manage that time. This video is designed with you in mind. Does it sound like you? By the time you complete the steps I'll outline shortly, you should be able to start applying to systems administrator or IT support jobs. Now, before we move on ahead, let's tackle one big myth up front. Many people believe that a tech career always requires coding. Now, that's not true. Several tech roles don't require coding skills, and systems administrator is one of them. It's like thinking that a chef has to bake cakes. Sure, some do, but others are grilling steaks. They are making salads. In tech, it's similar. There's room for many specialties beyond coding. Having worked in tech for many decades now, there is one thing that I've come to know. It's a strategy that has curbed those negative thoughts that arise in me whenever I'm starting something new. It's a self-reminder that I should and must leverage the experiences that I already have. It originates from what's in your house conversation between Elisha and the widow, where the widow started responding with the words, "Nothing at all, except what? I might add, except a flask of olive oil." This flask later became the source of the widow's income. This story is a reminder to not devalue what we have in our hands. Just because it's outside of tech doesn't mean it's not valuable, when in fact it's the opposite. Every industry interacts with technology, and you can use your existing expertise as a foundation. For example, if you're a lawyer, your knowledge of privacy law is invaluable when you transition into a privacy officer role in cybersecurity. If you're in healthcare, your experience can guide you towards becoming an EMR product manager or a systems admin. You're not starting from zero. You're adding tech to what you already know. If you're in logistics or transportation, your knowledge of that industry could become very useful as you transition into IT support or IT analyst in that field. So let me ask you this. Do you see yourself bringing valuable experience from your current role into a tech career? I've transitioned from multiple roles throughout my career. When I moved into systems administration, the one thing that really played a big role was certification. And this is one of the things that I will encourage you to consider as you start your career. Certifications, I know it's not experience, but it does help you validate your skills and your knowledge. It's your foot in the door, so to speak. Okay, so let's properly define the systems administrator. A systems administrator or sysadmin is like the caretaker of an organization's technology. They are behind the scenes, making sure everything runs smoothly. Whether it's the computers, the servers, the networks, or the users, they're the ones who make sure that the critical systems like email, databases, internal software are reliable and they're secure. The sysadmin is that backstage manager. If they're doing their job right, you will barely notice them. But as soon as something goes wrong, that's when you notice them. They're the ones who jump in to fix it. Because of the importance of this role, the demand for systems administrators remains strong. And this is because organizations will continue to rely on systems administrators. Here's a simple breakdown of the goal of this role and how you'll be measured in this role. Number one is setting up systems. When a company brings in a new technology, it's the systems admin who sets it up and who makes sure that everything is ready for employees to use effectively. Number two is troubleshooting. If something breaks, like the company's email or the server, the sysadmin is the one fixing it as soon and as fast as possible to minimize business disruptions. Number three is security. Sysadmins play a big role in keeping data safe. They manage access to sensitive information, making sure that software is updated to prevent any security risks. And they also monitor for suspicious activities that could lead to data breaches. Number four is upgrade and maintenance. Systems administrators keep systems running smoothly. They do the checkups, they do upgrades. And number five is IT support. Systems admins are the go-to support for employees who need help with technology, guiding them and answering questions that they may have. Now let's talk about the different specialties within systems administration. You can focus on one based on your interests and your strengths. The first specialty is the infrastructure-based systems administration. Here, you will focus on foundational elements of IT systems, ensuring that the underlying infrastructure operates smoothly. For example, we have roles like network administrators. They manage networks, routers, switches, firewalls, keeping data flowing and secure. Then we have operating systems administrators. They focus on managing servers and desktops and manage operating systems like Windows servers, Linux, or Mac OS. Then we have database administrators. They keep databases consistent and secure. And then we have security administrators. They ensure the security of systems by configuring firewalls, intrusion detection. There's also another category of systems administrators. These are typically application-based systems administrators. These administrators manage and specialize in specific enterprise applications, ensuring that those tools are properly configured, integrated, and running smoothly. Examples are like business intelligence and analytics administrators. They have titles like Power BI systems admin or Tableau systems admin. We have administrators that focus on CRM and ERP systems. They have titles like Salesforce systems admin, Microsoft Dynamics systems admin. We have IT service management and workflow administrators. They have titles like ServiceNow systems administrators and Jira systems administrators. Then there's another group that manage communication and collaboration tools. They have titles like Microsoft Exchange systems admin, SharePoint systems admin, Teams systems admin. Finally, there are industry specialized application administrators. You find them in healthcare, finance, logistics. They have titles like Epic systems admin, Cerner, now an Oracle Health systems admin, eClinical Work systems admin, and Blue Yonder systems admin. There are also transportation and warehouse systems support analysts. The list is endless. The idea is if there's a software system that is used in an organization to manage their key functionality, there has to be someone who manages it, who administers and who configures that system. And that person's role is typically a systems administrator. You might be asking, so what's the key difference between the infrastructure-based administrator and the application-based systems administrator? It boils down to these things. Number one is the emphasis. In terms of infrastructure administrators, their emphasis is on the foundational IT operations, on networking, on servers and databases. However, the application-focused administrator, their focus is on managing specific enterprise or user-facing application. The second aspect that separates these two groups is the breadth of knowledge they have. The infrastructure administrator needs a broad understanding of how all the systems in the organization works. It's about seeing the whole picture. On the flip side, the application-based administrator does a deeper dive into just one or two tools, mastering the detail of how they work. Okay, so if you have no prior experience or education in IT and are ready to execute, here's a 4-step guide to help you transition into a systems administration role within 4 to 6 months. Now, bear in mind that this is for someone who is already working. It may be shorter for you if you have more free time. It's the ABPC roadmap. It's the assess, the background, the practice, and the certification. The first step is to assess whether this path is right for you. I'll ask you here a few questions that may help you determine if the systems administrator role may be a right path for you. Now, be honest with yourself with your answers. Number one, the question is, do you like solving puzzles? If you answered yes, it is possible that this path may not be for you. You see, people who enjoy solving puzzles are very detail-oriented. They are very patient. They can stay on a mundane task for a very long time without getting bored easily. Systems admins, on the other hand, do not typically have patience for mundane things that don't immediately translate into something tangible. Do you like to fix things that are broken? If you answered yes, then this is a good indication that the systems admin role could work for you. Systems admin is about fixing broken things, putting things together. Number 3 is, can you stay at a problem until it is fixed? If you answered yes, then this is a good indication that this role may be for you. You see, systems admins face problems and must troubleshoot it until they find the solution. If you can see yourself chasing after a problem, scavenging the internet for how others have solved the problem, then you're probably in the right path. Now, these are only traits that can set you up for success, right? Please bear in mind that there are just a few questions to understand whether you like this role. There are many more. This assessment is 5 minutes of your time at best. Step number 2. After you've determined that systems administration is your kind of thing, the second step here is then to gain background or foundational IT knowledge. You can start by learning basic IT concepts like networking, operating systems, and hardware. Online resources like CompTIA A+ provide foundational knowledge. This will help you get comfortable with operating systems, networks, and it forms the basic knowledge you need as a systems administrator. This step will take you about 15 hours to complete. If you have a library card, you can access the training free of charge from LinkedIn Learning. Step 3 is where you practice. The third step is about practicing and building your systems administration skills. To do this, you must set up a virtual computer where you will try tests and gain practical knowledge in these things. Before you withdraw or bid me adios, let me just say this. It's not that hard. Think of it like you're trying to cook something new and you have a recipe that has a step-by-step instruction to make that dish. Now, You've not done it before, but you can do it. It'll be new, but can you imagine the skill set that you will build as a result of doing this? I know you can do it, and you do too. With the virtual computer, you can become more familiar with different operating systems like Windows, Linux, and you learn how to set up user accounts. These are all things that you will need to know as a systems administrator. You need to know how to set up user accounts and permissions. You need to know how to manage files, how to structure and configure network systems, how to perform backups, how to troubleshoot common issues, and how to configure systems. You can use a virtual machine called VirtualBox. I will provide you a link to another YouTube video where you will learn how to set up a VirtualBox free of charge. This step will take you about 10 hours to complete, and it is free. Another area that could boost your experience is to learn cloud fundamentals. Since IT environments are increasingly using cloud-based solutions, having a basic understanding of cloud concepts is beneficial. AWS offers a free cloud practitioner course that you can take. This will take you about 10 hours to complete, and again, it is free. The fourth and the final step is to study to become certified. So that's the C. This doubles as a hands-on practice as well as validating your knowledge. Certifications are important. You heard me talk about it earlier on in this video for validating your skills and for improving your attractiveness to employers. Here are beginner level certification options. Number one is CompTIA A+, which is a general IT support certification. It covers skills in networking and security, and it will take you about 3 to 6 months to complete. And it costs about $450 plus the cost of books. The Google IT Support Professional Certification is another one that you can take. It will take you about 3 to 6 months to complete, and it'll cost you about $240 through Coursera. Now, choose one of them to complete. Not only will they boost your resume, but they will also give you real-world skills. Are you ready to put in the work and make this transition happen? Let's review the time and the money commitments that you'll make for this career. A is assess whether this role is for you. It's free of charge and it'll take you just 5 minutes to do. B is you're building your background IT knowledge. It is free if you have a library card that will give you access to LinkedIn Learning, and it will take you 15 hours to complete. P is where you practice your skills using a virtual machine. It'll take you 30 minutes to set up and 10 hours of practice time, so 10 and a half hours. C is certification. It'll take you $450 and 3 to 6 months to complete. Now, if you're still watching, you've completed the first step already. You've accomplished something today on this journey. The next stop is B, which is 15 hours of background IT knowledge, which you can complete in 2 weeks with an investment of 1.5 hours a day. The next stop is the virtual machine setup and practice. You can complete this in 10.5 hours, another 2 weeks. The final stop is certification. By the time you get here, you would not need the whole 6 months because you would have built some knowledge and skills from steps 2 and 3. Now see the description below for a project plan that you can follow to make this thing work. Now you have the resources at your fingertips to start this journey. Do you think you can do it? I believe you can. If you're ready to jump in, let's get this thing done. Subscribe for more insights and let's make this transition happen for you. Thanks for watching.